Welcome back to BYU Sports Station, live in Studio B. Teamed up with Jerem Jordan, I'm Spencer Linton. Recently, I had a chance to speak with a guy who's making his way up the ranks of professional baseball. Daniel Schneemann, former BYU Bat-Cat, has worked his way to AAA, and he's knocking on the doors of the majors. Here's my one-on-one with Mr. Schneemann. We have tracked down Daniel Schneemann, who is playing some of the best baseball of his professional career at the AAA level. Daniel, great to have you on the show. Welcome back to BYU Sports Nation.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
How's life essentially on the road right now in the AAA ranks?
Yeah, I mean, if you compare the travel to low A or high A ball, it's definitely a lot better. The buses are nicer. If it's longer than like 6 or 7 hours, we fly. So there's definitely some advantages to being up here, and you know, it's been a lot of fun this year.
Now, it's pretty remarkable what you deal with as a pro ball player. You're married to former BYU women's softball player Allie Schneemann. She's now on the staff as a coach, just got hired. You have a beautiful child together. How do you manage your professional career while she's in Provo doing her thing, and you have a baby as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely tough being away. I guess the one good thing is that right now it's kind of her off season as well. So she's actually coming up and she'll be with me tomorrow. They both will, her and Kendall. So you know, we just try to work around their schedules, and she tries to come up here whenever she has time off or when she can. But I guess all we can do is FaceTime is when we're away. So luckily, you know, we're in the 21st century, and we're able to do that. So that helps a lot.
Fantastic. And I mean, needless to say, you are finding a way to succeed at the AAA level, dealing with all these, you know, difficulties, and you've taken this next step. I feel like every day I'm on Twitter, I see something from, you know, Cleveland Guardians perspectives or like prospects, and it's you're hitting another home run. You've hit a career high this season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is it 8 or 9 right now?
Eight right now.
Okay, so the career best 8 home runs right now. What would you attribute your rise in baseball and this, you know, this uptick in your game this season to?
Yeah, I mean, I struggled a bit last year, and so just this off season, I really tried, you know, making some adjustments. You know, me and Jackson Clough were able to work with each other, and Trent allowed us to work with the team every day at BYU, and so I don't know, just getting in the cages, getting in the weight room, you know, trying to fix our mechanics, our approach, just find something that'll help us be successful. You know, it's just a lot of work that we put in, and it's really good to see some of that work pay off, at least to this point of the season.
You're a very versatile player, speaking defensively, and can help a team in a lot of different defensive positions. So how would you rank which you prefer the most?
I think I feel most comfortable at shortstop, just playing there all through college, growing up. But honestly, I don't really care where I play. If you know, if I find a spot in the lineup, then I'll get behind the dish if I have to. But whether it's first base or, I mean, I've stuck to mostly third base and shortstop this year. So a little bit of second base as well. But yeah, like I said, I don't really mind where I play, as long as I'm in the lineup. So, you know, whatever gets me to the big leagues, I promise I won't complain where I'm playing if I'm in the big leagues.
Hey, from what you're doing and what we're seeing, it doesn't feel like that is, you know, far off, and that the dream is very much within your grasp. What do you feel like you have to work on to get to that ultimate top level?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to take it day by day. I'm just trying to focus on, you know, what's had me success this year. I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about, you know, getting that call up every once in a while. But yeah, it's there's so many things that can, you know, occupy your mind. And so like I said, I just try taking it day by day, one at bat at a time, and obviously I hope that time comes, whether it's this year or next year or whenever. But yeah, just especially learn some of the things I did at BYU with Craig. Just like the mental part of it, and just trying to stay present, and then just like I said, focus on what's helped me have success this year.
I don't know how it works within an organization when you are hoping to get that call up and you have been playing so well, but what's the communication like? Is it pretty quiet? And then all of a sudden just happens? Like you've gone from, single A to high single A to double A to triple A. Like what's that promotion communication like?
Yeah, it just happens right away. There's not much communication. Like my teammates who have gotten called up this year, it's just after the game, your manager will call you in and boom, it just happens like that. So it's definitely a business. So a lot of things have to happen with me not being on the 40-man roster as well. So it's like I say, yeah, a lot of things have to happen. But when and if it does, it would just be, out of nowhere, and it's something I wouldn't really be expecting, I guess. So yeah, just I mean, I guess it'll be a good thing if I ever hear my manager call me into the office.
We'll hope for that, and then send you some early BYU Sports Nation karma to eventually get that into the manager's office.
Yeah.
What type of feedback are you getting from your AAA hitting coaches and the guys that you trust their opinions?
Yeah, they're really positive. I actually have the same hitting coach I did last year from Akron. So he's traveled with me this year, and so yeah, just a lot of communication on the things that I might have had that have helped me have success this year. And so they give us a lot of info with scouting reports and video and just things that we might doing good or bad mechanically. So I mean, he's been helping me out a lot up here, and just going day by day and just trying to make adjustments here and there, just help us be successful throughout the rest of the year.
What a rise for Daniel Schneemann. And I mean, I'm not sure there's much more he can do right now playing at his current pace to make an impression on the big organization to get called. He just has to consistently do it, and then eventually it's gonna happen.
You hope, right? Andres Jimenez, they just signed a huge 7-year, $106 million extension for the second baseman. So shortstop perhaps open, but yeah, Schneemann's interesting because he's not listed as a top 30 prospect at middle infield, and they have 5 dudes that are.
Yeah.
So he continues to sort of overcome not being on that list, and so hopefully he gets a shot.
He's played in the outfield at BYU too, and he said as much. Hey,
he's athletic enough to move around, so if they find him a spot, I'm sure he could do well.
We'll make that full interview available on our BYU Sports Nation social media accounts. Great stuff from Mr. Schneemann. All right.